Hey guys, welcome back. Now, I'm not really ready to dive straight into December documenting, but I did get the Calm and Bright kit from Nelly and Clem, and I really want to use it. So I'm just going to put together a page in my regular traveler's notebook. This is my September notebook. I have a little bit of catching up to do. And I'm going to do that with the kind of digital planning method that I use. I've shown here before, so if you haven't seen that, I will leave a link up here for you. Basically, I design the page in Photoshop before I go ahead and print everything out. And it just means that I'm saving money, saving paper. I'm not printing out a whole bunch of things that I'm not going to use. I'm only printing out the things that I know are going to make it into my notebook, which you can see here. I have got a full page photo, and then I picked out this really beautiful red and pink checked paper. It is by far my favorite in the kit, hence why I'm using it. It does give me this really strong color scheme for my page as well. So apart from the paper, I also used a 3x4 card, which you can see there is a coffee cup. I've just altered it slightly, however, by when I printed it at the bottom of my paper so that I can trim it into this really long strip. It's going to run the full height of my notebook, and I can add my title and my journaling onto there as well. Now, I also printed out just a few other little embellishments, and this is what I mean about saving paper. I haven't printed out pages and pages of embellishments because I know I'm not going to use them just yet. I will probably end up printing out a bunch more before December, but for today's layout, I really only needed these few little tiny words and a couple of pieces that I'm going to layer up onto my page. Now, one is a little tag and a little kind of, I don't know what you call them, like a letterboard. They both have kind of Christmassy sentiments on them, and this is not a Christmassy page. This is a photo of me in my September Patreon live stream, so I'm going to cover up the kind of Christmassy sentiments on them and just use them as a beautiful colored layering piece on my page. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick down my photo and my background paper. I'm not going to stick down anything else just yet. I've got a little bit of work that I want to do. I'm just going to place everything where I want them. I want to make sure that I'm leaving that kind of journaling strip just free at the moment because I am going to do a little bit of work on that, and it's going to be easier to do that if it's not stuck down on the page because I want to run it straight through my typewriter. Now I'm going to adhere down just these other little bits and pieces that aren't going on top of that strip. So I've got two tiny word strips here. In all honesty, the third tiny word strip that goes over that little coffee cup, by the time I type up my journaling and stick everything down, I totally lose it. It just disappeared. I have no idea where it disappeared to, but I just sat down to record this voiceover and I found it on my desk. So none of the photos show it, but I do go ahead and stick that in since I did manage to find it eventually anyway. So you can see what I mean about just layering pieces. It just gives it a little bit of kind of extra dimension. But what I want to do is stamp out a title. And I went through some of my very old stamp stash. I knew kind of what I wanted to say as a title, and I could have used it with just alphas. But you can see here, I've gone through some of my stamp sets to see if I can find those actual words in stamps so I don't have to spell it all out individually. Now, I did give this title a little bit of a test run beforehand. You can see up there I picked out what colors I wanted to use, made sure everything was going to fit nicely, and I kind of changed my mind a little bit about the colors, but basically I'm sticking with that same color scheme, red and pink. I did throw in a little bit of peach in there for the ampersand. The only word that I couldn't find was friends. So I am going to have to go ahead and do that with alphas. I want to try and spread those out into this little space that I've got though, which was the bit that I was nervous about. So that's why I did test it to make sure it was going to fit, and it is. So I can just go ahead. I'm starting at both ends and then filling in the middle just to make sure it ends where I want it to end. And that was not as painful as I made it look. I've got my title all stamped out. I've got a heap of room in there for journaling. I just ran it straight through my typewriter. I left a little bit of a space. It's kind of hard to see here on the video, but the coffee cup does have this kind of waft of pink steam coming out of the top of it, and I didn't want my journaling to go over top of that. So it does kind of leave a little bit of a blank space in there. I decided to go through my sticker stash and pull out these very, very old puffy heart stickers. I added some down by the coffee cup, and I decided to add some up by the tiny word strips. And then it kind of looked a bit empty in the middle. I wanted something to tie those two pages together, so I'm going to add a couple more over underneath my journaling and call this very simple page all done. Hey, this is such a cute kit, and if you can't wait till Christmas like me, it's totally doable to create a non-Christmas page with it as well. I will leave the link below for you in the description box. Hey, thanks for watching today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there are a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye.